So I just did a road show, a Taylor Guitars road show. I talked for over 2 hours, and we sold some guitars. I'm exhausted. I'm on Long Island in New York. And I don't even want to talk about what happened to the first attempt at episode 85. But we're going to do it, and we're going to half-ass it all the way home tonight. Coast to Coast Pinball. Let's go. Welcome to Coast to Coast Pinball. My name is Nate Shivers. If you were not aware, what you are listening to is a podcast, a commentary, and I, this guy with two thumbs pointing towards my chest, am a man out of quarters. I am in the middle of a long trip, and there were fires in San Diego on this trip. There was a sick puppy dog on this trip. There was a girl with a badly sprained ankle, Teresa, on this trip. It's been a tough trip. I started in Boston. I'm in Long Island. There was a drive somewhere in this trip. And now there are 4 roadshow events with the incomparable Mark Seal playing guitar with me at these shows. I talk, he plays guitar. It works out great. And we had a good night. We were at a Guitar Center location. I usually deal with independent music stores, but we were at a Guitar Center big box style location tonight in Comac, New York. And I need to get this episode recorded. And I tried last night and had some technical difficulties, which I would love to explain to you as some really complicated issue with software or processing or this and that. But it was very simple. It was a copper wire on the microphone frayed and not working properly. That's all it was. And I did not catch it until we were too far gone. So here we are. How are you? I'm out of the loop. I don't know what's going on, but I know this. On Sunday, yesterday, because today we're coming to you not live on May 19th, Monday, May 19th, 2014, but yesterday, Sunday the 18th, I drove from Hartford, Connecticut to New York, and I set my GPS to Jack Bar on Havermeyer Street in Brooklyn, New York. And I went to Jack Bar, and I got there early. I beat John. John, who owns Jack Bar and Reciprocal Skateboards, was not even there yet. He was, I think, at the skate shop in Manhattan. So I went to Jack Bar to play some pinball. And I love, it's a fun little bar. They're friendly. The bartender was very friendly, giving me my, what did I have? I had a soda water with lime. I had that. And I got $5 in quarters. And at that time, I was not a man out of quarters. And I played some games. I was really bummed. They had some games out of order. They had a Rocky and Bullwinkle, and I was all excited, and it was out of order. They had a Nightmare on Elm Street out of order. Kind of bummed me out. They did have, which I had not seen there before, a Whitewater, which was cool. A Star Trek The Next Generation, which was cool. And so I played mostly Jackbot. Because I'm at Jack Bar, you got to play Jackbot. So I played a bunch of Jackbot, did really well. I thought I was going to get my initials up on that game, and then I saw how good New York City pinball players are, and I was actually nowhere near the high scores. But that's okay. I had a lot of fun playing some Jackbot. Played some Star Trek Next Generation, kind of rekindled my interest in that game. When that game's set up and dialed in right, and it's clean and playing quickly, that's really a great fun game, even for a wide body. It's good times. There's a lot of space on that game. So played that. I played their AC/DC Lucy edition, which, boy, looking at that game, the under playfield, the hell playfield, the nether regions of that game, one of the left little mini flipper down there was sticking a bit, which just leads me to believe what a pain that must be to get down there and not only perform maintenance, but just clean that out down there. That under playfield levels and additional playfields can be a pain like that with maintenance and stuff. So played that a little bit, but what a cool place to play pinball and hang out. Really enjoyed it. Also played their Wizard of Oz. Played some more Wizard of Oz. Actually had a good time playing Wizard of Oz. I am a pretty, I'm into Wizard of Oz. I like it. I don't love the theme. Wouldn't own it. Not for me. I like playing it though. It's I like that there's a lot of those games out in the world for me to play. So I don't feel like I'm missing out on what to me is really a groundbreaking pinball experience. I do hate the left out lane on Wizard of Oz. So this will serve here as a personal hate letter to the out lane on Wizard of Oz. It's too big. And my ball often goes from slingshot to slingshot to slingshot to outlane, and that drives me insane. Or if I make a bad shot off the upper right flipper, straight into the outlane. And then I'm shaking the machine trying to light up, then there's no place like home targets so I can get the little bonus game. And sometimes I tilt myself out of the ball. And that happened to me a couple times yesterday. But I do like the game. It's fun. I understand it better. The latest code updates are very much welcome. They do a great job. There's a lot going on. I think the people that write me and defend that game so hard think that I don't like it. It's not that I don't like it. It's just that it almost bums me out that this really cool, awesome step forward in pinball is on a theme that just has just no interest to me whatsoever. So, but it is a cool game. I enjoy it, and I will keep putting my quarters and dollars into that game as I see it out in the field. So, I guess this is really a trip report.
Trip reports.
But I didn't call it that until just now, so... Oops. But yeah, so Jack Bar, if you're in Brooklyn, one of the issues with Jack Bar and with Brooklyn itself, it's kind of a pain to get in and out of. It's not the easiest place. It's not bad to get into that area of Williamsburg, Brooklyn area, because you can get right off one of the highways. But man, just getting around and trying to find a place to park, it's just tough. Take the subways if you're around the area. Do the subway thing. I was driving and had guitars with me, so I couldn't just leave them anywhere. Well, anyway, so now I'm out on the road for a few more days. We're headed up to the Wappingers Falls area, which I don't know if there's any pinball there. I'm not thinking there is. And then North Jersey, and then we are going to be in New York City Thursday night, so I will probably get to either 2 Bits Retro Arcade or Modern Pinball NYC Thursday night, and possibly Friday get some more pinball in somewhere. So there'll be more to talk about. Maybe I'll pick out a game to feature. We need to do like a really in-depth feature on a game soon. That's going to happen. However, for episode 85, which you're currently listening to, the 85th episode, I want to first touch on something. I've had a lot of emails, and I actually had some money sent to me today from a couple different people on t-shirts. I have new Coast2Coast Pinball t-shirts. I have some of the old ones. I have a few in black. I have a few in the light gray color, like the sports heather gray with like a dark blue writing on it. Now I also have brand new dark gray shirt with color Coast2Coast Pinball logo. So it's the blue and the green that I use on some of the logos and stuff, which is looking pretty cool. I'll get those photos up online soon. I'm actually not in a real hurry. I'm not going to be home and able to ship shirts for like a week, so I don't really want you to send me money because I don't love holding your money without sending you something. Which that's not a shot to any, pinball manufacturers or anything. That's just how I personally choose to run things. So, but yes, I have shirts. I actually have a lot of shirts. I have shirts from mediums to triple X's in this new design. If you need a small shirt, I found a bunch of small shirts I didn't realize I had. I have some like of the original heather green shirts in small and also in black, I believe, black with white writing. So I've got all sorts of shirts. So let me know if you're looking for something specific. That's the only thing I ever ask of anybody as far as money to support this show is just if you want a t-shirt and you want a cool pinball shirt to wear when you're out playing whatever, I have that for you. I have a Coast2Coast Pinball t-shirt. So I really appreciate that. So since I am phoning this episode in, I will call this episode something about Nate phones it in or blobbity 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 blah. That's what this is going to be called likely. We're going to resurrect something that we did a few episodes back, and I rather liked it. So let's do this now.
Crazy Forum Static Mania.
See, this is called lack of show preparation. And also, this lets me get in touch with what's going on the Pinside forums. I have not had time to sit down and read and like take notes and do all that. I haven't had it. So we're going to jump in here on Crazy Forum Static Mania and just go through the sub-forums. And we're starting at the top because those are, I think, the most important forums. And that's all pinball. So we're going to look at the all pinball sub-forums right now. I'm expanding that as we speak, and I'm going to click on this little blue triangle that says all pinball. And whatever's at the top of that category, that's what we're going to talk about. And it is my X-Men pinball story. So Pinside user Beef Zap. I love the name, Beef Zap. He's from South Carolina. And he wrote, and this is very recent, he wrote this tonight. And I'm going to read his post here. It says, so, I really wanted a Star Trek pinball. Loved the theme and the photos of the machine looked really cool. Played a premium and it was okay, but not kick-ass like I had hoped. A few weeks later, played an LE and was fun, but nothing really special. Still thought I wanted one. Asked the LE owner what he thought about the machine, and he liked it, but it was not his favorite by far. Meanwhile, I played an X-Men Pro at a local arcade and was underwhelmed. Did not like the big doll figures and overall game. I did not know who in the hell the X-Men were and had no connection whatsoever to the game. Eerily like Shadow and Congo that I own. Played it again at the same arcade and really liked the shots, especially the upper flipper, playfield options, sort of liked it. Then played it at the Bash, and it all came together. Really enjoyed it, etc., etc., etc. So from the abyss to loving this game, it went to the top of my want list, bought a new inbox Wolverine from Mark in Baltimore, and loved the LE even more than the Pro, a really great game in all aspects. That's a cool story, and I would say that my story with X-Men is kind of similar. When X-Men first hit, I was excited because it just looked really good. I thought the artwork looked awesome on it. The comic style artwork looked good. The toys were big, and the Pro even had a really finished look to it. And I didn't love it when I played it. That Wolverine toy just looms on that left side, and the scoop shot is crowded and trying to get up into the pop bumpers. It's tricky, and I felt like the jump from Pro to LE was a little severe on that at first, but the more I've played X-Men, and especially since they've updated the code finally, I really like X-Men. If I found a deal on an X-Men today, I would probably want to buy it. I would want an LE though. I love that moving. Is it Iceman ramp? I guess it is. I really like that. That's cool. I think the spinners are cool. And then the pop-up little creature guys. Nightcrawler, is that it? Nightcrawler? Yeah. Trolls 2.0. Just kidding. It's a lot of stuff added into that. And so I think bang for your buck on recent Stern games with lots of shots, good rules, good features. I'm bullish on X-Men. I really am. And I'm kicking myself a little bit because there was a Pro at a really affordable price in San Diego not too long back, but I'm putting my money into America's Most Haunted right now, so I couldn't make that move at the time. But I would be very tempted right now if an LE for under $5,000 popped up. I mean, that's where I'm buying. If I'm under $5,000 on LE, which I've seen, and that's out there. It's not a unrealistic number. I'm into X-Men LE. We may have to do like a full-on show on X-Men. If there's an X-Men in my travels next week, I'll sit down and play it a bunch, and then we'll do a show on X-Men, because I think they finished that game this year. This is the year X-Men got finished. Released in 2012, finished this year, and it's pretty awesome that Beef Zap here bought a new in-box one here in May of 2014. So good on you, Beef Zap. So bumping back out to the forums main page, looking at the All Pinball. Next one is the All Clubs members only. And I love this forum because I'm not a member of any of these clubs, really, and I'm jumping in. Oh, great. Grand Lizard Club. Mandrills get in free. So, Grand Lizard. And if you don't know Grand Lizard, it is a sort of lesser-known Williams game from the mid-'80s that I believe Python Angelo actually worked on. It was a Barry Orsler... Yeah, hold on, I need to look this up so I'm not just dumb here. Yes, Barry Orsler, Python Angelo, Grand Lizard. Not a super well-known game, low production number, under 3,000. Standard size body, alphanumeric. I don't think I've ever played a Grand Lizard. Where is this game rated on the top? It's number 124 on the Pinside top 100, 200, 300. So, this post is almost a year old, and it's, why not everything else, anything and everything about Grand Lizard. And a user from Virginia posted this, and there's like 4 pages of people talking about Grand Lizard. So, if you're into Grand Lizard, want to know more about it, I know that with Python Angelo passing away this year, that some of his games are getting a new look. I'm actually floating through this topic right now, and I do remember I have played Grand Lizard because it has this really creepy sort of lizard/snake mouth and eyes thing with these 2 ramps that kind of go up in the sides of it. For that time period, it's a pretty intricate layout, and the artwork on the actual game is awesome. It really shows you how great Python Angelo was. And somewhere here in this thread, we get a cute girl playing the game and sitting on top of the game and leaning on the game. So if you're into girls in dresses laying on pinball machines, definitely check this thread out. What else we got through here? I'm just kind of seeing anything else pops out, so to speak. in this thread. Sorry, I can't help it sometimes. But yeah, so that's the Grand Lizard Club, and I'm certainly not a member, but I'm not a mandrel. I don't even know what a mandrel is. So, but anyway, check that out if you like. Moving down through all pinball, we're going to go to all game room talk. And at the top of all game room talk is Pin Game Journal, ... subscribe, ? And Cheese Whisperer from Michigan says, I've currently got 3 back issues on order, but they are way overdue. If they arrive soon and I like them, I may subscribe. I've never seen one. Is this mag worthwhile? So, this is a thread looking for updates on the Pin Game Journal. And Jim Shelberg was on the show when I was at the Midwest Gaming Classic. I just emailed back and forth with Jim Shelberg because we're swapping out shirts. He gave me a shirt, his Damn It Jim Star Trek release shirt, and I got him a long sleeve Coast to Coast Pinball shirt, although I think I got confused on what size he wanted. So the first ever long sleeve pinball, Coast to Coast Pinball shirt may need to be redone for Jim Shelberg. But we'll work on that. I'm going to see Jim up at the Northwest Pinball show up in the Tacoma, Seattle area next month. Looking forward to probably having him back on the show. And yeah, the Pin Game Journal has slowed. You know, he sells subscriptions not based on a certain number a year, but more you buy a certain number of issues and that's your subscription. And when he gets to them, he gets to them. Jim has gone through some well-documented health issues. I know that, you know, there was the famous incident a few years back with Clay Harrell taking over for some issues, and that didn't pan out real well. They how do I put this mildly? They didn't see eye to eye on how that should go. Put that judiciously. And Jim has not been able to get a lot of issues out. And the calendar was the last issue, which is pretty cool. But I think that it's a lot of work and it's a lot of effort that is gotten tougher and tougher for Jim to get done in the manner that I know he would like to. So hopefully, you know, I'm a subscriber to the Pin Game Journal. Hopefully there will be an episode out sooner, not later, and I can come on and tell you how great it is. But I think you might have to be somewhat patient for that. So I'm not sure why that was in all game room talk, but it was. Let's jump into the all modding ! Subforum of the all pinball subforum. And at the top of that is awesome custom Sopranos from Pinball Refinery. Pinball Refinery puts out some fantastic souped up redone machines where they really trick them out, mod them out. They do, you know, custom rail painting and coin doors like this one. Oh man, the photos of this Sopranos game, and Sopranos is not a game I'm all that in love with. I heard somebody on another podcast recently, I want to say it was on the Pinheads podcast out of Australia, saying that Sopranos is basically like a redone Monster Bash. And it's funny that I had never actually thought of that. And then I went and looked, and I'm like, oh, yeah, kind of, I see that. It kind of is. Although, theme-wise, I just don't feel that the Sopranos theme translates anywhere near it as well as Monster Bash did. And it doesn't have the flow to me. I guess Sopranos is a George Gomez game. I don't even know that for sure. Let's look that up right here. You can learn with me, because I just honestly don't remember. It almost has to be, knowing what was going on at Stern at the time. And yeah, George Gomez. So, this oh my gosh, this updated Pinball Refinery version is beautiful. The girls dancing on the stripper poles look fantastic. We'll leave it at that. It's the Refinery Edition 001. So if you're looking for a beautiful Sopranos, I love their kind of like the legs and the side rails and the lockdown bar are like a sparkle black. What do they call that? I gotta look in the specs. I really like that. That looks good. Maybe that's the answer to all these people fighting about Medieval Madness rails. They called it LE style lighting effects, gameplay, custom black powder coat armor with clearly added heavy metallic flake. There you go. So heavy metallic flake. Looks awesome. So check that out if you want to see a souped up Sopranos. Not a game I think of when I think of like games to be, you know, modded and, you know, made into expensive versions of themselves. So that's pretty fantastic. I feel like we skipped the transportation questions topic last time. So let's go ahead and get in here and see how bad I look reading this one. All right. The top post in the transportation topics is bringing 4 machines out of storage after 15 years. Duncan from London writes, I have 4 late 70s, early 80s Bally machines which need to come out of storage after 15 years. I intend on renting a van and driving them down to London where I now live. Thankfully, I had the foresight to remove replace batteries long before storage. Can anyone please offer me advice on how to best load the machines into the van and any techniques on securing them? Is there anything you'd recommend I do before powering them up to test at the destination? Well, I'm the idiot who loaded a Judge Dredd out of an SUV onto a furniture dolly and into his condo by himself in the dark in flip-flops. So I'm really not the best person to talk to about transportation. And you might be wondering how I did that. I did that very stupidly. I'm totally hijacking this thing because I don't know what to tell the guy. Take the legs off, put nice thick blankets on the glass so that the head doesn't scratch anything up. If you have some like nylon cable things that can hold it all down, that's good. Secure them in the van so they don't slide around. Get some friends. Get a good dolly. So I will tell you this story, though, is I got that Judge Dredd year and a half ago, whenever it was. Or I don't even remember. And Teresa couldn't really help. So I went out there and thought, I wonder if I can get this thing out of the SUV onto the ground. So if I get it onto the ground, I could get onto the dolly, then I could move it myself. It's a wide-body, heavy game, and I was in the dark, and I just thought flip-flops are a great footwear choice for doing this sort of thing. So I went outside, and I, like a fool, started, and once I started and had it sort of tipped out and coming, I really couldn't stop it. And I had laid blankets down on the asphalt driveway and got it down, but then didn't have any way to, tie the head up to the body, so it was just sort of a really dumb situation. Didn't scratch anything, didn't break anything. I made it, but that's not good on your back. So I would not recommend doing what I do. So that's why I shouldn't go in that forum. I think I just left the tech forum completely alone because that's where I get myself in real trouble. We'll go to the top of tech in general and just read somebody's first thing. This is tech I believe it's in .matrix subforum, and it's a DM issue. So I bought a Demolition Man, sorry. I bought a DM yesterday, got it in the house today, and something is wrong. The game played fine before we bought it, but I guess something happened in transit. It was a 4-hour drive from New Jersey to Maryland. Anyhow, when I turn it on, it has a very loud buzzing, which I know isn't correct, so I turned it off a second later. So what causes this? As I've never had this issue. And thankfully, Lloyd the Great, Lloyd the Goose, whatever you want to call him, was the first one to respond. Because that's someone who should respond. And he gave him some advice on unplugging the connectors in the driver board, see if the game powers up. Gives them all, some good advice. So looks like Big D 1979, who I'm assuming was born in 1979, like I was. Looks like his game is working fine. So crisis averted, and let me get out of the tech forum. I don't belong in there. That's not for me. That's for some other show. Restoration's documented. That'll be a fun one. Let's click on that. Let's see what's in that. Bride of Pinbot restoration thread. This thing is I think it's 700 posts. I've been in this thread before. The Ringmaster, my arch nemesis from Unknown City with some European-looking flag, Swedish flag, I believe, posted this quite a while back. And he talks about his restoration of a Bride of Pinbot, and it's 15 pages long from 7 months ago. And there's other people working on Bride of Pinbots in different states of repair throughout this thread. And it's pretty cool. I own a Bride of Pinbot, and I don't have the patience, time, all that good stuff to go through what these guys go through in these restoration threads. I wish I did. I'm too busy doing a podcast, I guess. So anyway, I'm looking on page 14 of this, and a day ago, the Ringmaster says he spent a couple of hours with a friend, and they made the back box warning text. They screened it and then tried it on some whiteboard, and then did it on the back box, which they had freshly painted. So I'm looking at the head of his Bride of Pinbot with new decals and now freshly painted text on the back. It just looks awesome. Man, that is so cool. And there's a lot of talent involved here. There's a lot of time involved here. So kudos to you guys. Restoration's probably another thread that we just shouldn't, deal with a whole bunch. Electromechanical, the EM Hangout subforum. Well, you know that I belong there, right? Gottlieb Atlanti. And by Atlanti, he means more than one Atlantis. Dirt Flipper here in the Twin Cities area has posted a photo op for a duo, Double the Fun. And he has 2 Atlantis machines, which I think is one of the coolest EMs as far as art package go. And it's a, one-player Gottlieb EM from, I want to say, mid-70s, like 74, 75, 76, somewhere in that range. It's a cool color scheme on the playfield. I like it. I like the back glass. You have underwater swimming people, which is always neat. I think Teresa likes this one too. And I'm just kind of scrolling down through this this post, and there's one of the cool things about these old EM games, especially the side art, is it was always really simple because it was generally just what's the word I'm looking for painting over cutouts. What do you call that? See, I'm such an idiot when it comes to this stuff. But it's generally just really basic art that you could do in sort of, simple stencils. Thank you very much. Stencils. And it's kind of like, it has a quaintness to it that I really like, and you can easily redo it and retouch it. You can either get a stencil kit that somebody's put together, or they're very easy to touch up. It's not like if you have a Stern Simpsons pinball party with messed up side art. Good luck with that. You're buying new decals, obviously, at that point. So that's really cool. I don't know why this guy has 2 Atlantis. I'm thinking he flips games, he repairs them, works on them. So yeah, he has 2. Very cool. But that's actually a game that's pretty sought after for those who are into the EMs and into especially the single player Gottliebs. Cool game. I like it. I like seeing 2 of them. I wish I had time to read through that thread some more. That's also a fairly low production number game. That's like a under 2,500 production number game. So really cool. I have seen people say that is their favorite EM, or some people call it the best EM. It's kind of in that fun wheel spot. Good time for Gottlieb, EM pinball machine. So that's very cool. So another forum I don't feel like I'm totally welcome in. Let's jump into the playing forum. Let's look at playing tips subforum. AC/DC, unbelievable shot tonight. Now, on the subject of AC/DC and on the subject of listening to other podcasts, I listened to the recent Pinheads podcast, which they dub Americana. What is it? They have a catchphrase for pinball. Americana, slice of Americana from down under. Which is so weird hearing, something American referenced like that from a foreign country. But from dudes who just sound like guys I would hang out with slightly odd accents, because, it's Australia and they speak English. So I really like their show, though. It's obviously it's a very well thought out show. Lots of energy. I love their energy. They have good thoughts. Those guys are good dudes. And our buddy Shane was actually on this last episode talking about some of his experiences at the Texas Pinball Festival, which he and I hung out at quite a bit, and that was cool to hear Shane get to tell his story about Steve Ritchie and asking him if he'd ever do a sequel to a game, and Steve kind of was like, no, we're Stern, new games, etc. So it's kind of cool. But the reason I brought this up in the first place is one of the guys on the show refers to AC/DC as Aka Daka. I guess it's a nickname for AC/DC, Aka Daka. And I didn't know what he was saying. I didn't understand what he was talking about. And I kept thinking he was talking about like a different game that I just didn't know. Like maybe he was talking about like an old EM that I didn't know, Aka Daka. And I'm like, abracadabra? I had no idea. And then I finally realized that's his like nickname for AC/DC. So maybe in Australia they refer to AC/DC as Aka Daka. I don't know. I didn't know what that was. So anyway, user Jeremy with a G 13 from Indiana wrote a couple days ago in this thread, AC/DC unbelievable shot tonight. He wrote, just sharing a game tonight. I was in album multi-ball playing to the best of my ability, parentheses, not that good, but then I hit the most unbelievable shot. I had 2 balls on the left flipper trapped during multi-ball, and then another ball was coming my way and I had to pull the trigger. Of the 2 balls on the left flipper in one quick swoop, I backhanded 1 ball to the left ramp and sent the other ball to the right ramp. It was unbelievable. I was impressed that this could be done. AC/DC is an excellent game. Can't believe the shot was even possible, but I just watched it. And it was me. The me part is irrelevant, except to me. Wow, that was fun. So that's pretty cool. I played AC/DC Lucy this weekend at Jack Bar, as I mentioned earlier. And man, I love the premium versions of AC/DC with kind of the drop targets and lack of cardboard stand-ups. A little better stand-ups in the real train toy. That's a fun game. It's hard though. Why am I so bad at that game? Short ball times for sure. I don't think I could ever pull that off. That has to be like pretty awesome luck to actually hit both ramps with 2 balls off the left flipper. That is pretty cool. So, all right, jumping back into the playing sub forum. I've screwed this all up, so you have to start up at the top again. Forums, playing, rule sheets, exciting commentary here on Coast to Coast Pinball. We're going to talk about rule sheets. Wizard of Oz question is the top here. Big Duke 6 from Wisconsin posted a couple days ago. In a couple weeks, our Wizard of Oz standard will be here. Wow, still waiting. I've played 3.0 and really got a better sense of what to shoot for. My wife and aunt are huge Wizard of Oz fans, thus our first new in box. Neither are huge players, though. The way it sits now will be, will they be able to grasp the gameplay, objectives? I'm really wanting them to know it from the get-go. Is there a rule sheet available now? Thank you. I know there are 10,000 Wizard of Oz posts, so I appreciate you looking. And then there's some links to some like Google files on a Google Drive thing with Wizard of Oz rules flowcharts. And if you look at this flowchart for Wizard of Oz, it kind of shows you how to get to the different places, and I'm just like going and looking at it. You spell rainbow out, and then you shoot the twister ramp when lock is lit. Spin the house 10 times, Munchkin mode, and gets you to the Wicked Witch. Or you can hit the witch target X times, guess depending on the setting. Witch attack, complete 3 witch attacks, fireball frenzy. Then that also gets you the Wicked Witch. And it's a really cool flowchart that somebody made, because that game is pretty complex now, and that would be of great help for someone who's going to own that. So that's pretty neat. So I like to see that posted. I would love to see flowcharts for that for all sorts of games. That's pretty amazing. I like that. See, aren't you glad we clicked into that one? That's a neat one. So for anybody who wants to get better at Wizard of Oz, go seek out in playing tips under rule sheets. That flowchart. That's pretty cool. Gameplay videos. Let's see which listed. Oh yeah, Lord of the Rings. There's a new Papa video for Lord of the Rings, and it's the Valinor. I hope I'm saying that right. All you Teresa type Lord of the Rings geek folks are gonna be all over me if I don't say that right. And by geek, I don't mean that in a disparaging way, but because I'm a geek for other stuff, but I'm not a geek for Lord of the Rings. So it's a link to this strategy posted, and there's lots of spoilers in this thread and what you're going to watch. So, all I will say about this, I'm not going to go deep into this because you can go check it out for yourself, especially if you're really into Lord of the Rings, is Papa does a fantastic job at gameplay videos and teaching videos about these games. So, definitely take the time, go check out Papa's videos. If you're going to go play in a tournament, and you know what the games are going to be, go to papa.org and look at their videos. It's a big deal. There's a Metallica tutorial up, which is a big deal. I know they have looked at... oh boy, I'm blanking on what the other big video... I watched one just recently, and I totally can't remember. And I'm looking on the fly trying to find it and failing miserably. So just go there, check it out. There's lots of... circuit finale round video posts up there on that. I think Papa has just really dialed in what they're doing, and I think it's awesome. Check out the Papa TV Roadshow for sure. There's 3 episodes up. I don't know where the rest of the episodes are. I hope to see more coming out. But so far so good. There's 3 up, and I hope we get to see more of those. So, yeah, check out Papa. Support Papa. Jumping back in. Do we still have something in gameplay? I think we do. playing. So close with an exclamation point. So this is you came so close to finishing the wizard mode, but you missed that one shot. This is the subforum to ventilate missed pinball opportunities. Metallica world record, so close to end of line. And PinChamp from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, posted, finished all CIU. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking on what these are. Too many abbreviations. It's too late at night. I don't even remember what that stands for in Metallica. That's so bad, right? I'm pausing this recording because we are going to figure that out. What is the crank it up mode? Thank you, crank it up mode. Sorry, that wasn't even going to come to me. I'm not even going to say that would have come to me. I actually had to look that up. I was totally lost. So anyway, PinChamp here finished all the crank it up modes and had 2 balls left to get to end of line. Both went down the left drain without fail. Machine with factory settings at 1.51 update. I love this game. Only played for 40 minutes or so. That's a long time. Epic game. And he scored 807 million. So that's very cool. And it looks like he put his initials all over this thing. So, man, see, that makes me want a Metallica. Just even reading that, I'm like, I want to go play Metallica. So there will be some Metallica played this week. I have a pretty strong feeling we're going to make that happen. So that finishes up the playing subforums. What do we have time for? Oh, we got plenty of time. The night is young. I love the market. Let's get into the market. The market's so fun. Announcements in the market. What's under announcements? Pinball. Oh, the pinball book. The Santiago Sufo. His new book called Pinball. I don't know if you guys have seen this or not, but there's been pictures of all sorts of different people promoting this book. I know that this post is actually from our friends over at the Pinball Magazine. Are sort of helping support this. It's a beautiful coffee table book of pinball art. It's so just gorgeous. I don't know if you can still get these. I think you can still get these. I need this book and I haven't bought it yet. I keep sort of meaning to. So we're going to run over to the pinball-magazine.com website and we're looking here and looking at the shop because I want to see if I can buy this book. Can I buy this book right now? Magazines. I know that they're selling the old magazines. Looks like only Pinball number 2. I don't know if you can buy this pinball book. Well, anyway, check out this pinball book. It's a hardcover book. They have it done in I think 13 languages. Oh, yeah, the big button that says click here for details. It's a great place to start, right? The artwork is just recreated in just high-res photographs. If you're into pinball, if you're a geek into pinball like me, you need to absolutely buy one of these. They're not cheap. I think they're like $42 or something. Yeah, $42.71 US plus shipping. And they ship in a nice cardboard package. So, wow. I mean, it's really sort of kind of like the 1977 Roger Sharp, James Hamilton book. But this is updated, big, beautiful. I'm going to order that tonight, as a matter of fact. So definitely go check that out. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go to pinball-magazine.com. It's right on the front page there, and check that book out. That's definitely, if you have a friend who's really into pinball, who has a birthday coming up, this is the best gift you can buy him short of a new in-box Metallica LE, right? So that's cool. That's under the announcements part of the marketplace. So jumping back out and looking into buying advice. And we're going to stick with Metallica subjects and AC/DC subjects. Pinside user Ray, Ray from Mount Airy, Maryland, posted, "How does Metallica Premium compare to AC/DC Premium?" He says, "I've only played the Pro version of Metallica, but was thinking of getting Premium since I'm a sucker for toys. I wanted to ask if Metallica Premium is viewed as highly or on par with AC/DC Premium. Does it have lasting appeal, and how good has the code made it? How does the build quality compare? Also, I've read people were having issues with the hammer not always locking. Maybe I read that on Pinball News, but is that still an issue? Finally, do people think the Premium is worth the $1,800 premium over the Metallica Pro? Money is not the issue, but I was wondering if the Pro is so good it's not worth getting the Premium, or yes." So This is interesting because I said earlier I thought this about X-Men, that there was a big gap between Pro and Premium. I think AC/DC, that gap is maybe even bigger. I couldn't bring myself to buy an AC/DC Pro. Not having the underground playfield, not having the drop targets, having some lamer versions of the stand-up artwork would really bum me out. That would really bum me out. I would have to buy the Premium. I think the Premium's a great game. However, Metallica, I think it gets a little closer and it gets a little blurry here. I know that I actually looked at a Pro that had been souped up by maybe a company we talked about earlier, Pinball Refinery. I looked at that for a while because I thought that would be a fantastic way to go. Sort of buy a Pro with some upgrades like better armor and things like that. There's a lot of mods out there for Metallica now. Metallica is quickly becoming a mod favorite. So I think you can buy a Pro and feel really good about it. I think you can switch out some lighting, do really well with it, get some LEDs in there. I don't know. I think if money's not the issue, you want to go premium there. I think the hammer is a cool toy. I think they've sorted out most of the issues. I think the Dirty Donnie art on the side is absolutely, to me, a no-brainer. You've got the ball-eating snake and the animated jaw ball eject thing on Metallica Premium, which is very cool. I love the grave marker. That's probably my favorite feature on the Premium and LE versions of Metallica is the inline drop targets, and behind it is the cross that rises out of the playfield. I think that's so awesome. The hammer of the balls down underneath the playfield into the coffin lock is really neat too. I love that really cool motorized grave marker thing. That's for me really awesome. But I think Metallica Pro is a game I will probably end up buying the Pro version of that game at some point. I've said that before on the show. I'm a huge Metallica fan. It's part of my music life growing up. So I love it. I don't see the premiums dropping in price anytime soon. I think those are going to be awesome. There's a photo down here of a guy in California, Mondesi, one with his AC/DC Lucy next to his Metallica. It looks like a Pro, I think, and they look great together. It's fantastic. So that's a great question, though. I think if money's not not an object, then obviously get the premium. If you're looking to save a little coin, I think Metallica is a game where you can do it, whereas I don't think AC/DC is a game I would personally recommend doing that on. Let's get through a couple more here. We're turning and burning here on, what do we call this thing? Crazy Forum, Static Mania, Madness. Nate didn't make notes. What is that we're calling it? I think that's the exact name of it, right? Forum Static Mania. Crazy Forum Static Mania. So, trying to finish out the market. Pinball machines for sale. Let's see what's for sale. For sale, Hulk Avengers 5250 quick sale price. I don't want to argue here, but I'm not sure that is a quick sale price. Maybe the Hulk one is. The Green Hulk limited edition Avengers, I think, is going to be collectible because it's green and it's got the Hulk. It's awesome. So let's see, how long ago did this gentleman post this machine for sale? He posted this one day, 13 hours ago. This is Coaster Guy. I see Coaster Guy all the time. And I see Coaster Guy because my eyes can't help but be drawn to the word coast, because my show is called Coast2Coast Pinball. And I see he, posts, and I see his name and stuff in there. It's a beautiful game. I mean, this is actually just a beautiful looking game. I don't know if it's home use only or not, but it's number 111 out of 250. He just picked it up a couple weeks ago. It shows 70 balls played. That's pretty low. I mean, the game looks like in really good shape. I'm trying to see if it has a lock bar on it. It does not have a lock bar, it doesn't look like. So, let's see if he sold it. Yeah, I think he sold it already. Maybe not. Nope, still available. Still available 3 hours ago. So if you're looking for an Avengers, and if you're looking for the Hulk Avengers, go check this out. 5250 quick sale. I don't think that's a price for a quick sale. I know they were more money than that, and I know it's a limited edition with all the fleshed out features, but I will remind you, it's still the Avengers. And boy, it looks pretty. It looks really nice. But quick sale on a limited edition Avengers is actually going to be sub $5,000. Unfortunately, that game, even man, the artwork on the side of Avengers Hulk is so cool. Like, that's really awesome. This game, probably more than any, I want to like. Like, I think about this game sometimes. When Amazon was blowing out those Avengers Pros and people were kind of in a scurry to buy them on their little, like, flash sales they were doing, I was, like, looking at that, trying to rationalize buying one of those. There was an Avengers Pro for sale in Orange County recently, and I was like, oh, man. Because I would have fun playing that. I dog on the game a little bit, but, you put that in my house, I'm going to play the daylights out of that game. I'm going to go through it as much as I can. I'm going to try and make myself like it. So I'm always thinking about this game because I know that it's a deal. If you want to buy a Pro New Stern, Avengers is the one you can get a deal on. And, oh man, then I play it and I just don't love it. I just don't love it. So anyway, that's a good price. I'm not saying that's a bad price, but that's not a fast, super must-have sale price. Also, I think he wants cash and he wants it picked up. I don't see where he's located. He doesn't have a location on his little profile right there. So, but if you're interested, go check that out. And I want to say he's in the Midwest somewhere because I think Coaster Guy went to the VFW, Clay Harrell's event, which, by the way, from all reports I have read, went fantastic. Also, reports I got, and Mark from the Midwest Gaming Classic texted me, he was out helping out at Pinagogo this weekend in California while I was in New England. And it looks like Pinagogo was a huge smashing success. I know I had some people write me emails, say they were going to write reports on both shows. Please do. We will get to my mail eventually. I just haven't had time. I've been trying to respond to anybody that wants to send me money just because that seems like appropriate. I'm sorry if I haven't responded to your emails directly. We will get to them, and I'll read a bunch on the show. Maybe we'll do maybe episode 86 will just be the mailbag. That's possible. We might do that later in the week. I gotta go. I gotta go to sleep. I gotta get up early. I gotta drive. I love you guys. I really do. I don't talk about this side of the show very much because I feel like I'm tooting my horn, but I will tell you this. I got deeper insight into the analytics of this show and how many people actually listen to the show because I've never had full-on numbers. And my podcast hosting site actually started doing a beta test of analytics where I can actually see every download and every grab of the source file of each episode. Because before, all I could really see was if you actually clicked on the page on Podcast Garden, or I could see my Stitcher Radio plays. That's really all I could see. So I used that plus my best guess, deducing what iTunes was, and then auto grabs for podcast catchers. That's a wild card. You don't know. I had a number in my head what I thought this show was getting per episode. I had a pretty good number, a number that made me feel good about doing the episode. Then I got some analytics into how many people are actually listening to this. How many of you are at least downloading the episode? And it was about 5 times bigger than I'd thought. So that was pretty freaking awesome, I must say. So thank you guys. The now confirmed thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people listening to Coast to Coast Pinball. I'm flattered. The emails you send me are not lost on me. It means the world to me. I thank you so much. Go play some pinball. Until we talk again, speak again, whatever, host a show again, shoot me an email, coast2coastpinball@gmail.com. It's coast, the number 2, coastpinball@gmail.com. I appreciate it. I'll talk to you guys soon.